Today I'm making a creamy mushroom gnocchi with chicken. We're going to start by slicing up 8 ounces of cleaned mushrooms. Normally I'd pull the stems out so I have a nice flat surface to cut on, but I wanted to keep that mushroom cap and stem look for this dish. However, I did slice the stem so it was flat. This step is totally optional, but it looks nice later. Next we'll roughly slice a large shallot. I cut it in half and then I placed another cut down the middle. This will help speed up the slicing while also leaving us some nice little strips of shallot. Lastly, for the veggies, we're going to roughly chop some spinach. I chopped way too much here, but if you prep about 1 to 1.5 cups of spinach, you'll have the perfect amount. Now I'll shred some Parmesan on the fine side of a box grater. This is about 1.5 to 2 cups or so. The Parmesan will give us a nice little savory addition to our sauce. Now we'll prep some Halal chicken breasts from Midamar Slash off some of the little fatty bits, then lay the chicken out flat on a cutting board. Cover that up with some parchment paper and then we'll get pounding it with a meat tenderizer. Get that down to about 1/3 of an inch thick and then we'll put it in a mixing bowl and set it aside for now. Now that our prep is finished, we'll move over to the cooking. We'll toss 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil into a large pan. It can be stainless steel or non-stick works fine. We'll melt that butter over medium heat and then toss our chicken in along with any little bits. We'll let that cook undisturbed for a little bit. This will help a nice golden crust form on our chicken. Once you're satisfied with the golden brown color, we'll flip the chicken. Cook that for an additional 5 to 7 minutes or until the other side is nice and golden. Now we'll hit both sides with salt and pepper to taste. Once it's seasoned, make sure to flip and season the other side as well. Then we'll remove the chicken to a clean mixing bowl. Without cleaning the pan, add 1 tablespoon of butter and about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil and stir that around. Some of the fond on the bottom will scrape up during this step and that's okay. Then we'll add a shallot and stir fry that for a bit. Normally I wouldn't remove any of the fond, but I had a really big piece that I was worried would burn, so I pulled that out. Once those shallots are looking nice and browned, we'll add in our sliced mushrooms. Stir those around a bit, then hit it with a little salt and pepper. Cook that for a few more minutes or until the mushrooms have released some of the liquid and have browned. Now we'll add in 4 medium cloves of crushed garlic and about 1 tablespoon of extra olive oil. Mix that up and cook it until the garlic is fragrant. Now we'll lower the heat and add in 2 tablespoons of flour, about a teaspoon of thyme. Cook that until the flour smell dissipates. If you're enjoying this video and want to give us a little support for free, give us a like and subscribe, it really helps us out. Now we'll slowly stream in 3 cups of whole milk. At this point we want to use the milk to scrape up the remainder of the fond. Once all that fond is up and mixed in, we'll add in the rest of the milk. Turn the heat up to medium-high and we'll bring the milk to a simmer. Make sure to whisk this regularly or the milk will burn to the bottom. Once the sauce is thickened just a little bit, we'll lower the heat and add in 1 pound of gnocchi. We'll swap back to the spatula and then we'll stir that up so the gnocchis don't get burned. The starch in the gnocchis will help our sauce thicken up a bit as well. You can check the tenderness of the gnocchi by giving it a little poke with a fork. As soon as those are nice and squeegee, we'll decrease our heat to medium-low. Toss in our spinach, or spink as we call it in the studio. Then we'll add in some Parmesan in batches. We don't want the parm to be too strong, but we do want to be able to taste it. I decided mine was a little too light, so I added probably a whole 1.5 cups of Parmesan. As soon as you're satisfied with the salt, pepper, and Parmesan levels, we'll put the chicken back into the sauce and cover it with the juices and let that warm up for a little bit. Once the chicken is nice and warm, you're ready to eat. Serve it up with some bread and enjoy.